Hello and welcome to the GBC Productions channel. This is episode 35. In this video, I'll be fixing a Coleman lantern. This model is the 285-700T. The problem with it is that even when it's full of fuel, it'll go out fairly quickly and then depressurize. I've checked for leaks at the filler cap, at the pump, and the main valve assembly. So, what I'm going to do is start taking it to bits. I'll start by taking the shield or reflector off. And now I'll take off the hat. And the globe. Now I'll take the heat shield off. Now before I go any further, I'm going to depressurize it by loosening the fuel cap. Now I'm going to take off the generator and the burner assembly. Now loosen the nut for the burner assembly. Now I'm not too concerned about the mantles because I'm going to put a couple of new ones on after I put it all back together. I'm just trying to slide the retaining washer out. So I'll lift this up a little bit, and now I can take the generator off. And then lift off the burner. I've installed a spark starter to make it easier to light the lantern. How this valve works is not only does it shut off the fuel, but there's also a pin inside the generator that'll keep the jet clean. And the valve will move that pin up and down out of the jet. This thing sticking up just a little bit above the valve is what moves that pin up and down. Anyway, time to take the knob off. Now we have access to everything, and we just need to remove the valve assembly off of the fuel tank. The cap is still loose, so it won't build up any pressure. I'm going to need a bigger wrench. This one is not going to give me enough torque. Alright, so I'm back with a bigger nut lathe. Now with the valve assembly completely removed, we can look at what's going on here. There's an O-ring right where the pickup tube meets the valve body and I suspect that O-ring has failed. The pickup tube just screws into the valve body, so I just need to loosen it up and take it out. Before I put the new O-ring on, let's take a closer look at this valve and how it operates. There's a little plunger here that is pushed down when you open the valve, and that pushes down on a Schrader valve, just like for a tire, that is in the pickup tube. So anyway, this is the O-ring that I'm going to replace. It looks very flattened out. I gotta try to find a new O-ring. I do have an O-ring set up in my toolbox, so I'll get that and see if I can find something that'll work. Before I go grab the O-ring, I'm going to take the valve assembly the rest of the way apart so we can take a look at what else is inside of it. So this is the shaft that the knob attaches to that will push down that Schrader valve and pull down the cleaning pin for the jet. And here's how all the hardware inside the valve body meets together and moves. So now that these two O-rings and everything else in here checks out, I'm going to go get my O-ring kit. I got my O-ring kit. I'm going to pan over. Let's take a peek at it. There it is. I found an O-ring. It's a little bit thicker, but I think it'll work just fine. I'll just slide it onto the top of the pickup tube like so. Now I'm going to put the valve body back together before I put the pickup tube onto it. I went ahead and put the valve body back together off camera. Now I just need to put the pickup tube back onto the valve body. I just need to make sure the O-ring seats, and I don't need to wrench it down. Just hand tight is all it needs to go. It is plastic after all. Now I've cleaned off the threads that go into the fuel tank. Now I just need to put some sealant on there. Now I'm going to put on some yellow gas Teflon tape. Normally I would recommend using thread sealant instead, but I don't have any at this time. So here's the entire valve assembly ready to go in, so I'll do just that. So I'll just do as much as I can by hand. And then I'll use the wrench to finish that last turn. Actually, we'll go one more turn. Now I'll just line it up where I want the knob to be. And I can go ahead and tighten the cap back down. Now before I put any more back together, I'm going to put this under some pressure and make sure it doesn't leak. Feels dry, I don't hear any hissing, and I don't smell any gas. So now I'll get the burner assembly lined up. Actually, I'm going to put the generator on first. Now there's a little hook that has to go into that loop in the valve. And that's what pulls the pin down that cleans the jet. And I'm not going to tighten it yet until I put the burner assembly in. And I'm going to go ahead and take the mantles off of this first. Now I'll slide the burner assembly over the generator. I just have to get everything lined up. Now I'll slide the retaining nut in and tighten it down. And now I'll tighten down the generator. I got a new set of mantles. These are the Instaclip type. Number 21s, I believe. These are easy to put on. Just slide them on and give them a little twist. I almost forgot the heat shield. Gotta have that in place before I burn the mantles in. Now it's time to burn these in. With the mantles burned in, I'm going to go ahead and try to light it. They're still burning in a little bit, but it looks like it's working. Now I'll put the globe on. I had to fix the spark igniter. So now I can put the globe back on. And the hat. And the reflector shield. And finally the nut that holds everything in place. Now I'm going to try it with the spark igniter. And it lit right up. I'd say it's fixed. Don't forget to subscribe for more, mash that like button, and comment below. Until next time, this is Uncle D from GBC Productions, signing off.